Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing squishy makeovers, but this is not just any squishy makeover because I am going to be using squishies that you guys have sent to my P.O. box. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. You guys are great. Thank you so much. This is going to be so much fun. If you happen to have a used, ugly, or really cheap squishy that you don't want anymore and you would like to see me make it over, you can send it to my P.O. box. Only thing I ask of you is that you write somewhere on the outside of the package, as these lovely people have all done, that this is specifically for squishy makeovers so that I know in advance.
Disclaimer: if you want to send me squishies, please wait until the end of the video to learn more. Squishies may be subject to light roasting.
Okay, so I'm just gonna show you what I've got. I've got this one from Emma, and she sent me a big strawberry squishy and a hamburger squishy, also a note, so thank you for that, Emma. I got this one from Desiree. It's a it's an extremely dirty panda bread slice, so great candidate, thank you. Here's this one from Natalie, which is an old panda bun. I got this, which is in a bag because apparently the box busted open or got damaged or something, because this is how they put it in my P.O. box. These are from Olivia. She sent me 3 huge squishies. We've got this ice cream cone, a peach, which I've never had a peach before, so wow, and this big cake. She also made me these bracelets. How kind of you. Thank you. And the last one, this one is from Corey. Look at that. We've got a sushi, a penguin, and this ice cream cone.
Yeah, that's not an ice cream cone.
Also sent me these amazing light up glasses. Like, what? Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. I'm gonna choose 4. This one is just calling my name. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna choose this one. What else? You know what? I'm gonna go with this little popsicle too, because it's super cute. I think I have to do something about this extremely dirty slice of bread. And last spot. Oh, it's such a hard choice. I'm gonna go with this big strawberry. Don't worry about these guys. They will get done eventually. I will just pull them out next time I do one of these videos. And if I have any more at that point, then I'll just add them.
I've gotten 4 more packages since I filmed this. Yeah!
These are saved for later. These are the victims for today. Let's get into the makeovers.
So it's that time that many of you seem to love, squishy roasting. I can tell this once was a very nice squishy, but after being very well loved, there are a few little problems. First of all, there's a huge chunk taken out of the top of it. That's a big boo-boo right there. Also, the stem is completely MIA. I don't know what happened. There's a big rip right here, but the rest of it is actually in pretty decent shape. First, I'm gonna focus on the repairs. So I grabbed my scrap foam bag. Yes, I have a scrap foam bag. Is that weird? I found this little makeup sponge, so I'm gonna cut that up to make a little piece that will fit in that hole. I wasn't able to make it exact, but close enough will work. What to do about that missing stem? I decided to create a new one using some scrap memory foam. Perfect. Just kidding. I'm gonna cut this down, obviously, and try it on the strawberry every once in a while to see how it looks, getting it to the right size. And once I'm happy, I'm gonna take some fabric glue to attach it. The good thing about fabric glue is that it dries soft and flexible, so you don't end up with any weird hard spots in your squishy. But the bad thing is that it takes a lot longer to dry. If you happen to enjoy extremely boring activities, then you can sit there and hold it for 30 to 45 minutes. But what I usually do is use a rubber band to hold the pieces together and let it dry that way. Once it's dry, you can remove the rubber band, and I mean, you probably don't want to yank on it, but it should be pretty secure. So now I'm going to use some white fabric paint to secure the stem even more, and also that little piece of foam that I just shoved in there. It's not even glued down or anything, so just cover it in paint and it'll do the trick. To make this a little bit fancy, I'm going to use a pearly fabric paint. I mixed the pink and the green with the white pearl to make the colors a bit lighter because, you know, I'm all about that pastel. So now I'm gonna start painting the green on the green part. Brilliant! I had never used this pearl paint before, but I quite like it. It looks pretty cool, I have to say. Once it's dry, I'm gonna start on the actual strawberry part with the pink pearl paint. I know strawberries aren't actually pink, but you know, squishies are not the most realistic things ever. It's just to be cute. So it's okay, it's fine. Once that's dry, I'm gonna turn it around and paint the top half also, because, you know, we can't forget about that. This ended up getting really messed up because while I had it drying, Opie decided it was a good idea to waltz on over and knock it down. It was totally on purpose. I don't know what his problem is. If that happens, the best thing to do is just scrape off the messed up paint and try to smooth it down a little bit, but don't try painting on top of it until it dries completely. There we go, looking a little bit better, but now I've got to go back over all that green after Opie's little adventure to neaten that up again. And once the whole thing has an even coat of paint, I'm gonna paint in the seeds using the white pearl paint, each and every one. This was a little time consuming, but I think it adds a little something to it, makes it look a little bit more finished, you know. So here is the final squishy. I'm so happy with this because not only is this a new paint job, but I had to rebuild parts of this and I was concerned it was gonna look super janky, but I actually think it came out really good. I literally can't tell you where the missing chunk was. It blended in really well, so I can't even find it anymore. And I love the pearly effect. I think it looks really cool. Okay, next I'm gonna make over this little popsicle. Now this one looks pretty perfect at first, and then you see it. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's got a big rip that runs all the way around, but other than being ripped in half, the rest of it is pretty much in mint condition. It's really squishy and a super cute shape, so this shouldn't be too hard. I'm gonna start with my white fabric paint and I'm just gonna apply that all over the bottom, making sure to seal up that rip. And just like that, the squishy has been healed. Now I'm gonna throw some paint onto the popsicle stick as well, just so that it doesn't get ripped up like the rest of it did, but I'm basically using the same color, so no major change there. Now I'm going to paint the top half, and I'm going rainbow for this. So I'm applying each color of the rainbow, moving down, and you may be thinking, wow, this looks like a hot mess. Yeah, you're right, it does. So I'm gonna use a toothpick to start blending the colors together and hopefully making it look a little less atrocious. Not gonna lie, this part is really tricky, especially trying to get the paint smooth and blending at the same time, but I did my best. And once that layer dried, I'm gonna use a paintbrush. If you watched my last makeover video, you may remember me talking about why I don't like using paintbrushes for painting squishies. Well, I lied. It was all a lie. No, I'm just kidding. Paintbrushes don't work well for thick layers of paint, but they do come in handy if you want to apply very, very tiny, thin layers of paint in order to blend colors like you see me doing here. For the final touch, I'm gonna add a little face because I felt like this popsicle just needed something, so yeah, I added a face. And here is the final squishy. I think the new one has a lot more life and personality, so that's always a good thing. I am happy with it, although I do wish I could have gotten the paint a little bit smoother, but hey, that gives it character, right? I mean, who wants a perfect paint job? Not me, right? Right, guys, right? No, it's not that bad. It doesn't bother me much, to be honest, but ideally it would have been a little bit smoother. Next is this little ice cream cone creature. I've been staring at this for the past week and I still don't know what it's supposed to be. I will say it's super soft and squishy, so that's a bonus. The face is kind of cute, although I'm not sure why the inside of the mouth is brown. Kind of weird, just saying. The ears are very uniquely shaped. Also, they're falling off. And he's got what looks like a melted chocolate chip cookie on his head. A little bit of paint missing here and there, but nothing too outrageous. I see some great things things for his future. Let's start by doing something about those ears. Choose your weapon. Bye-bye ears. I'm cutting these off with very small cuts at a time because I don't want any scarring to occur. Yes, this guy lost his ears today, but I'm going to construct him a brand new pair so it's all good. Using some scrap memory foam, I'm cutting out a triangle, then cutting that in half. My plan is to make this into an ice cream cat. So I'm making some cat ears and I'm cutting down the foam, rounding it out until it's the shape that I want. Now that I have two ears that are roughly the same, I'm gonna attach them onto his little head with that same fabric fusion glue. Rubber band those babies on and wait 30 minutes. Once that's dry, we can finally get to the painting. I'm actually going to stick with a very similar color scheme as the original, so I'm going with white for the head, and I did have to use several thick layers of paint on the memory foam parts to get them to look at least somewhat smooth, but surprisingly, the hardest thing to cover was actually those little indents of his eyes. They just kept coming back. I was like, why did they keep coming back? I don't want to be able to see those because I wanted to change the eyes, so I eventually did build up enough paint to where you couldn't see them anymore. And now I'm gonna take a break from the head and paint the cone, which was pretty quick and painless, so yeah, cone color painted, okay. And then I'm gonna paint over the melted cookie. I'm gonna use some brown paint to make it look like hot fudge or something, and of course, we must add sprinkles to that. So while the paint is still wet, I'm gonna throw on some sprinkles to give this squishy a little splash of fun and color. Then I'm gonna turn it over and paint over that little ruffle thing. I don't know why I waited so long to paint that. I was avoiding it for some reason, but it's time. And now it's time for the face. Ha. I liked that the original had these little pink cheeks, so I'm gonna recreate that using a little scrap piece of foam, and then I'm gonna use that same pink color for the tongue, which he didn't have before, so you're welcome, and the insides of the ears as well. And I did make the eyes like laughing eyes because I felt like it was kind of weird looking to have wide open eyes when the mouth was laughing. Then I'm adding some whiskers, and I did touch up that little bit there that's kind of messy. I touched that up later. And here it is, my cat ice cream cone. This may be my favorite makeover for this episode. I just love how it turned out. I was nervous about doing the ear replacement surgery. I didn't know if I was up to the task, but I think it turned out really well actually. And I like the changes that I made to the eyes. I think that helped a little bit too. Okay, and the last victim is the dirty bread. I laugh every time I see this one because it's just so dirty. I'm not sure if this one was well loved or well hated. No, I'm just kidding. I know that white squishies get dirty super easily, especially if you use it a lot. I just think it's funny how dirty it is. Other than the dirtiness, this one is in surprisingly good shape. There's no rips or tears or anything like that. I'm gonna break out the memory foam once again. Why? Because I actually want to turn this into an egg on toast, and I want the egg yolk to be like 3D, so I shaped that out of memory foam and painted it with a generous amount of yellow paint, and I painted the bread with a toast kind of color. I didn't paint the center of the top of the bread because I'm gonna cover that anyway, and once that dried, I added a second layer to cover everything very well. I made the crust color using a mishmash of my old crusty paint. Crusty paint. Crust. Anyway, remove that toothpick, which I was just using to hold on to and hold it up while it was drying, and then I'm painting on that crust so that it looks more like bread. And now say goodbye, Panda, because I'm gonna add the egg with some white paint, of course. Since I made the egg yolk so big, I made the egg white look like it was kind of spilling over the edge of the toast so that it looks a little bit bigger. Once the white is dry, I can finally glue on that big egg yolk, and voila, here's my sunny side up egg on toast. I think this looks so much better now. The egg yolk is a tad bit oversized, as I've been talking about this whole time, but I kind of like it like that, to be honest. It's really fun to squish, and I don't know, it kind of looks cute like that. But yeah, it's a massive egg yolk. So I kind of casually threw out this idea in my last makeover, like, oh, maybe you guys could send me some old nasty squishies and I could make them over and it'd be fun, but I honestly didn't think think anyone would do it. I was so pleasantly surprised. You guys are so kind and generous. And like I said, I have 4 more packages of squishies that have arrived after I started filming. So this series will continue as long as you guys want it to. Also, I do want to clarify, I've gotten a few messages asking if you send a squishy, will you get it back? I wish I could send all of them back, but no, you will not get the squishy back. I've gotten around 10 packages already, and I don't know, I mean, I could get more, so that could end up being a lot of shipping for me to pay for and keep track of. Please only send squishies that you don't want anymore and you're okay with not getting them back. Please don't send me money for shipping so that I can send them back. I don't want this to get overly complicated and have to keep track of everyone's stuff. So this is for people who want just the fun of seeing their squishy get a makeover and not a free squishy repair service, okay? Just making that clear. Hopefully you guys understand. Thank you so much for watching, and again, thanks to the wonderful people who have sent me some victims, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!